It's like everyone goes, bah! All the time you mention his name.
Answer the question and we can have a substantive conversation on the issues, or you can keep saying my name. Pick one.
Guess what? You're not the host.
A heated debate took place on Piers Morgan's show. Let's watch some highlights and then talk about it. I specifically like the part at the end where Nomiki Konst slams the grifter Tim Pool.
Please tell me, when you talked about her career as a, in San Francisco and everything, what did she accomplish when she was there? 146 laws that she tried to get behind, none of them were passed. Okay, she has an abysmal record. If anything that we've seen in this past 4 years, you think that, what's Kamala going to do different? I'm just curious. What do you think Kamala's going to do? I don't care about the enthusiasm. I don't care about the men for Kamala. Sure. Please tell me name one policy. Name one policy that she's going to do that's going to save America from this past 4 years that she's been involved in. I'm very curious. Very curious.
Sure,
you don't have anything. There's nothing. Wait, ready for this?
Can you let me speak?
Before you go, is it the border?
Hang on.
Yeah, is it the economy?
You ask the question, let him answer. Bad job.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
All right, here we go. Unlike Donald Trump, she's not going to unleash the military on U.S. citizens. He promised to do that on the weekend. Unlike Donald Trump, she's actually support Obamacare and strengthen it, not destroy it. Unlike Trump and Republicans, she's going to actually fund Social Security.
That's not a policy.
Yes, it is. She's going to fund Social Security and she's going to fund Medicare. Donald Trump and Republicans said they want to destroy it. She's going to reinstate Roe v. Wade. She's going to try to actually make that into law, unlike Donald Trump and Republicans who overturned it, and which is why they're going to lose the election, because they attacked women, women's rights. They're going to go after contraceptive and IVF. There you go, genius.
Economists are in general agreement that Trump's proposals are more likely to lead to higher inflation, interest rates, and deficits when compared to Harris's plan. Trump has been caught exaggerating and making misleading statements about healthcare for years.
Trump's America first, Biden and Kamala are America last, and the numbers show it. Don't act like I'm sitting here like some right-wing maniac. Okay? Look at the stats.
You're showing you're a right-wing maniac.
You sound like a right-wing maniac.
When Trump left office, he had lost 3 million jobs, while the Biden administration has added 15.7 million jobs. Trump added $8.4 trillion to the national debt, while Biden has added only $4.3 trillion. When people say Republicans are better on spending, it's just not true.
I'm so sick of the QAnon talking points. Listen, I mean, there's so much to debunk there, and it's really...
The name.
Vinny, you had your moment, okay? Please, I've been very quiet here, listening to you guys as the woman, as you explain misogyny to everyone
I knew
watching.
You were going to go there. I love women.
You know, because I'm a... Oh, you love women. I'm sure they love you, too. Listen, this is going to be determined by women. This election is going to be determined by women.
Vinny talking about name-calling is hilarious, considering he is well known for name-calling. Anyway, it is true that women make up the largest and most reliable voting bloc, so this election could definitely come down to women voting.
And women are not only, we saw it in 2022, this country has turned out in response to Roe v. Wade, not just because it's an attack against abortion rights and abortion access and the right to choose, but also it shows that the Republican Party and Donald Trump have had an agenda, not only through cutting off clinics, funding to clinics across the country, attacks on IVF, not only with their online agenda, like Tim Pool here, who was funded by the Russians, let's not forget.
Trump has done several things that negatively impact women. For example, he defunded the United Nations Population Fund, which impacts maternal health services globally. He revoked protections against workplace sexual assault, sexual harassment, discrimination, and pay disparities, making it harder to report and find problems within the workplace. He rescinded Obama-era campus sexual assault guidelines that required college campuses to take sexual assault allegations more seriously. And he appointed the justices that took away abortion rights federally. Don't forget that he was also found liable for sexual abuse against E. Jean Carroll, as well as many other women claiming he treated them badly.
Part of the gender divide here right now is because folks like Tim Pool and others who once said that they were Bernie Sanders supporters, who I worked for, were suddenly pulling people away and pulling young men away and radicalizing them. So I think we have a problem with young men right now, and that they don't respect women, as you're seeing with Vinny. They don't respect facts. They don't read newspapers. They don't understand polls. They don't understand misogyny. They don't understand people of color. And they don't understand that that immigration bill was blocked.
And you know what,
by Donald Trump and his Republicans.
Namiki, I'll come to Tim for a response, but Namiki, what you may not understand is it's precisely that attitude towards younger men that is driving them to Donald Trump. And I think the election in the end will not be won with women. It will be won with men. And interestingly, increasing numbers of Black American men and Latino American men. So Tim
Can
Pool,
I just challenge that for a second?
You can challenge it,
Men
yeah.
don't turn out at the same rates as women. It's really important. Women have a higher rate of turnout, they're more reliable voters, and young women are more left than they've ever been because of a lot of the online hate that they're seeing. So while Tim Pool may not like this, the majority of men actually do respect women.
Tim Pool is such a grifter. I love to see her going after him. Tim Pool has a long track record of saying dumb things. For example, alluding to a woman's value being tied directly to her ability to produce babies. Tim Pool says things in a way that requires people to read between the lines, so he can always have some sort of deniability, but they are clearly dog whistles.
Why would Tim Pool not like people to respect women? What's he said that makes you think that?
What did I say to this lady?
I watched his commentary in response to the Kamala. This lady, I have a name, Tim. I've called you your name. You can call me my name. My name's Nomiki Konst. I'm well known. I'm on the internet. You've commented about me before as this lady.
Tim Pool knows exactly who Nomiki is. He has talked about her multiple times.
So, Tim, I saw your commentary about the manliness ad, and you said that that wasn't manly. I don't think that men should be looking to other men to see what's manly. I mean, most heterosexual men want to persuade women because it's part of their, it's how they live, right? Tim Pool, I'm just questioning why you're defining masculinity.
All right,
and
let
women
Tim
aren't,
Pool.
because
Okay.
we're the ones.
Well, it's interesting that you think you should be able to define masculinity, but he can't. Tim Pool, your response?
I don't know why this lady keeps saying my name. I didn't say anything to her.
If you watch Tim Pool's content, you will quickly realize he is a bad role model for young men. He reminds me a lot of Andrew Tate with the toxic masculinity takes.
I mean, if you're trying to target Tim Pool viewers, yeah, probably not. I mean, the far right, I don't think Kamala Harris or any Democrat was ever going to win over. But there are plenty of men who may need permission.
What do you mean a Tim Pool viewer?
Well, I mean, you have an audience, and the audience is far right, and over
somebody who thinks
90% male.
Pool likes to make an argument that he's in the middle. He doesn't play political games. He's above the fray. The truth is, he's a far-right grifter with an audience made up of mostly incel men that can't find women.
Yesterday, Kamala Harris said, here's my plan for black men. He actually comes up with a comprehensive plan that will actually help young black men. And by the way, that is going to resonate. What does Donald Trump do? Sways to music for 39 minutes, talks about Hannibal Lecter, talks about black jobs, says Kamala Harris has turned black, talks about black criminality in the urban warfare of Detroit, mocks Detroit, a place where he's speaking, a major city in a swing state he needs to win. This is what he does for black people. He's racist. He hangs out with racists. He supports Nazi talking points, literally talking about poisoning the blood.
And yet,
he hangs out with Nick Fuentes,
just to jump in,
and a racist.
Okay,
meanwhile, Kamala Harris,
I know.
Kamala Harris actually comes up with a plan, and you say she has no plan.
But you see, what's interesting? Right. What's interesting to me, Vajra, is despite everything you've just said, Trump's support amongst black Americans, particularly black male Americans, has been rising steadily now for the last 2 years.
According to the data, young, uneducated white men are more likely to vote for Trump. The same goes for black men. Trump is good at speaking, marketing, and tricking people who aren't smart enough to dig deep and find their own educated opinions. Wajahat is right that Trump is not good for the black community, which is why the more educated see through him and are voting for Kamala.
Why the African-American population is starting to lean towards Trump. And the numbers are off, by the way, because we just did it today in the PBD podcast. It was 81% for Obama. It dropped to 70 when it was Hillary. Then it kept decreasing. Kamala is the lowest out of all of them, and it keeps decreasing.
While it is true that Kamala is not performing as well with black Americans in the polls, we will have to wait and see. However, Vinny is wrong about Obama, Clinton, and Biden receiving less and less black support. Biden actually received more support from the African American community than Clinton did.
All this BS rhetoric of Trump is racist. Enough of that shit. And this guy even talked about Russia again with Russia. It's like, guys, get over it. This identity politics, it ain't working, okay, because the people are waking up. This Hitler, whatever, Nazi rhetoric, which I don't think you've learned, people are actually trying to go after Trump and murder him because of people like you saying some dumb shit like he's Hitler.
Trump and the right love to scream identity politics while doing identity politics. Trump has been a racist for most of his life. For example, he was sued in the 1970s for not renting apartments to black tenants, the Central Park 5 case, comments about Native Americans, and 2016 campaign rhetoric, where he made up claims about crime rates in black and Hispanic communities.
This same polling, Piers, had Hillary winning by 90%. You guys, it's going to be a shocker for you guys, and you're going to have another 4 more years of TDS.
Vinny just made that up. No poll anywhere showed Hillary winning by even close to 90% or having a 90% chance to win.
There's a broad coalition of folks who are supporting Kamala Harris, as there's a broad coalition of folks who are supporting Donald Trump. Not all of them are loyal MAGA people who would storm the Capitol like Vinny here, or paid by Russia like Tim Pool here. Are you on the clock right now for Russia? I know you make $100,000 a week from Russia, and the FBI intervened.
So listen, because you guys, what you do is you make stuff up and you say my name 50 times because you want the clicks on YouTube. You can answer the question and we can have a substantive conversation on the issues, or you can keep saying my name. Pick one.
Nomiki, what do you want?
Guess what? You're not the host.
Tim Pool was caught accepting money from a company that was being funded by the Russian government. This is because he's a grifter that spews talking points that push Americans further apart from one another instead of closer together, where we can work together through our differences of opinion. He is a bad guy for society, and people know it.
Donald Trump said that he was going to challenge the election after he already challenged the election. These are things authoritarians do. I'm not using the H word, I'm using authoritarian and what's at risk. When you have Dick Cheney, who I have nothing in common with, siding with Bernie Sanders in this election because they fear that our democratic world is at stake, that the world order as it is, as imperfect and flawed as it is at stake because there is foreign interference. Yeah, I do think that's worth mentioning because Trump goes against everything that's pro-America. He didn't even, he didn't want to support the immigration bill and he blocked it. Inflation began to increase under him. We can't forget that. Manufacturing did not succeed as he promised in 2016 when he ran on that. And no, actually, the economy wasn't better under him. Go look at 2020 economic numbers, and they were horrible. And we have inflation going down. We have Wall Street is doing better than it's ever been. Wages are up at record rates now, finally. I mean, unemployment is at a record low. This is real. These are real issues, and Kamala is presenting issues to invest in small businesses, to expand Obamacare, which is hurting so many small businesses. I mean, she actually does have an economic plan.
Trump said he would do so many things that he actually didn't do. If I were to list them all off, this video would be hours and hours long. He made things sound great, but didn't actually deliver. If you like this type of content and want to see more, please like and subscribe to help my channel grow. Thank you.